I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday, the 2nd of August. A little relief in spots today. The wedge coming into play on the eastern side of the state and some big storms out there. Let's take a look. First off, we'll start with Cullman. Look at that rain falling up at the Cullman sky cam. The temperature down to 78 degrees. Hey, that's nice. And look at Mount Cheahaw. They have no rain there, but they are sitting at 85 with the wedge, cooler air moving in from the east. That's fantastic. We note our sky watcher up on Lookout Mountain near Collinsville is reporting 88 at 2 o'clock. And again, that's with no rain. And finally, we'll go down to South Alabama. There's a look at the Atmore sky cam. That's in Escambia County, not too far from the Florida state line. Pretty heavy downpour off in the distance down there. Well, there you go, cold air damming. The wedge. Notice that nice cool air moving down the eastern slopes of the Appalachians into East Alabama. That's fantastic. Atlanta, looks like they're not going to see 90 today. And some of the spots over near the Georgia border might stay under 90 today. Nice little surprise there. Nobody complaining about that. But yeah, on the other side of the state, it's hot. Here's a look at numbers at 2 o'clock. Tuscaloosa, 100. Birmingham, 98. We're baking here, but over there in Anniston and Gadsden, only low 90s. Well below forecast highs today. And nobody, again, griping about that. 91 for Gadsden, 93 for Anniston. And those communities closer to the Georgia line are sitting in the upper 80s. And again, Cullman, because of the rain up there, they're down in the mid-70s. There's the rain on radar, and really quite a few healthy storms out there, but they're scattered. Again, that's your classic case of scattered afternoon showers and storms. Many counties have them across this part of the state. Hopefully you'll be close enough to one to catch a nice breeze out there today, or maybe even get some heavy rain. They're not moving much like recent days, so some locations are getting a pretty good soaking. And we'll see a slow increase in the number of showers and storms later this week as the heat ridge breaks down just a little bit. But it seems like today, if anything, they're drifting to the south, and I mean drifting at less than 5 miles an hour. Wouldn't be shocked if we had some flash flooding issues under the stronger storms. Convective outlook, obviously the risks of organized severe weather on top of the heat bubble. There's today and there's tomorrow. QPF chart numbers are coming up. That's good. This is valid through Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. This is suggesting rainfall amounts of about 1 inch for much of the state. And understand today some people are going to get more than that in just 15 minutes underneath those scattered storms. But again, Thursday and Friday, the coverage will likely increase as the heat ridge breaks down somewhat. Let's talk about tropical weather. You can tell by looking at that, it's getting active out there. We have the fourth tropical depression of the season. That's the middle CDO there, Central Dense Overcast, out there around, 43 west and 13 north. Got a big wave on a lower latitude back behind that, and another wave in the southwest Caribbean. And we're getting into the time of the year where all those things have to be watched. There's a look at the model output on TD4. Pretty consistent. Most of the models want to curve it north of the islands, putting it out there to a point where it could very well recurve. You just get the idea this might be a recurving storm, but again, it's too early to determine if this will recurve or turn back toward the east coast of the United States, but clearly it's not going to be a Gulf of Mexico problem. There's the official track from the Hurricane Center. They've got it Saturday morning at 8 o'clock in the Bermuda Triangle between the Bahamas and the small island of Bermuda. And again, from there, the two options, the recurvature option or bending back toward the east coast of the U.S., I would suggest that recurving is very likely because there'll be a nice trough over the east coast by then. And the intensity output from the models, interesting to note that none of them bring this to hurricane strength in the next 5 days. They all keep it as a tropical storm with a fair amount of shearing over the system. So again, for the Gulf Coast interests, the people in Alabama and Mississippi around here, this should not be an issue. But again, I think it's a sign of things to come. We'll keep an eye on things out there. Here's the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, that old heat bubble is just expansive. The higher heights are over around Shreveport and the Arklatex, and that's where the hottest temperatures should be. But no doubt it's going to be hot here. Same deal, upper 90s to near 100. Wednesday, the heights come down ever so slightly. We'll back the numbers down a degree or two. And then Thursday, you can see how that big vortex and trough to the north is really starting to make a nice dent in the heat bubble. Highs drop back in the mid-90s, and there's a look at the surface chart. Showers and storms will likely increase. And then Friday, the trough rotates over to the east coast. You can see why we think that tropical system is going to curve out there into the open Atlantic without landfall with that. Down below that, a surface boundary north of us around Louisville, Kentucky, and a pretty good moisture field. So Friday could be a day with maybe scattered to numerous showers and storms and highs only in the low 90s. And Saturday, this run does not take the surface front all the way through here, and that makes a lot more sense. The one we showed you this morning didn't. It pushed it all the way down to near Mobile. But more than likely, the front stalls out and fizzles out, which is what they do this time of the year. There's Sunday, and you can see we don't get into dry air, so I think the thing to do is to go with climatology Saturday and Sunday. Mix of sun and clouds, scattered showers and storms in the afternoon, low 90s probably, not upper 90s or 100. And Monday of next week, though, it starts to come back. It's back. The 594 ridge is rebuilding. And Tuesday, it's centered a little northwest of the state. So it's August. It's supposed to be hot. We'll check the end of the forecast on the 18th. High amplitude pattern in the westerlies, trough ridge trough. The heights are not excessive down here, and that looks kind of moist and very typical there, and that would suggest probably low 90s if this is right out there at mid-month. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.